Hello everyone. So today I wanted to talk to you about my relationships. Relationships that actually were quite shameful. So, probably the very first boyfriend I had was Camille, and during the New Year's Eve when I was 13 years old, I was with my siblings and their boyfriends, and my sister's best friend had a brother, and that brother was Camille. So at one moment in time, one moment during the party, everybody is deciding if I should sleep that night with Camille in the bed or not. And it didn't cross my mind on my own, and it didn't feel comfortable for me to have that many people wondering about me sleeping with someone or not. I didn't have the need, but I wasn't that much expressing since the very beginning. So, yeah, it didn't cross my mind either that I should say, well, excuse me, sorry, stop. I will not. Right. So, my family has decided. We didn't have sex with Camille, but the stories were growing and growing because I was told by my brother-in-law that he met Camille in the bar in the main square and he talked badly about me. And in fact, we kissed with Camille, he touched me, but we didn't have sex. And what happened was that, when I farted, sorry to say that, I did. When I farted and I thought, okay, we're not moving the duvet, he's not gonna smell, then on that thought, he immediately moved the duvet. And I was picking my nose too, so I started to bleed from my nose. And I went to the bathroom, and then the man at whose place we organized the party told me, "Oh, I was so worried that Camille did something to you and there was blood from your nose." And basically, during the next day, he kept repeating that. And my mother would tell me that, no, between me and Camille, there was his sister sleeping. So I really find it is a big overstep when you tell somebody, not only deny somebody's memories, like the very first, not sexual yet, but close to sexual experience, and you try to add a new element to it, because not only his sister supposedly slept between us, but there were two other people in the room too. So, my mother wasn't even at that party. Um, yeah, that's funny. But what I wanted to say here, is that these two elements, like picking my nose and farting and experiencing some shame, they were recurring elements in my life later on. And also, when I met Camille and we met a few times, we were supposedly dating. Then I met his best friend, and actually I liked his best friend better, and that repeated in my life too. So next one was Przemek, and that was when I was about 19, 20 years old, and this time we were supposed to sleep together. So he put two beds together, and early in the morning he received a call from his best friend, and he learned that his best friend slept with his girlfriend for the first time, and she was a virgin. Well, so was I, but there was no blood, and there's one more detail I'm not giving you yet. Okay. And then he would communicate with me in a very confusing way. So, sex in his old flat was okay when his parents were home, but when they moved out to a new flat, then it wasn't okay anymore. And he would go like this: "Are you crazy? My father is home. Okay. And when he organized a birthday party for me, his friends were gone like in 2 hours. Or when he bought me a gift, it was a used gift, and then he wanted to take the box too because I actually liked the box, but I know I told you about it. And then, the weirdest of all was the fact that I myself wanted to date my professor, my phonetics professor. And don't get me wrong, I'm basically was always in love with a professor if he was good enough. If he could deliver, a good lecture, then yeah. But, my phonetics teacher, my history teacher, and my conversations and writing teacher, that was the same person. I spent 3 years with this man, and I can tell you, with each and every topic he had to handle, he just failed. And he would do it on purpose. Like, history lectures were based on murmuring something to the headphones, and even girls told me that his presentations were overloaded, and he just didn't know if to write from the presentation or from what you hear in the headphones. And he would always look for the file on his computer for about 10 minutes at least. I mean, the man has been doing this for 30 years. And on his computer, he always starts the lesson with looking for 10 minutes his file. Wow. So, here's my question. How could I have fantasies about somebody like that? I don't get it. I really don't get it. So, I didn't have a fling with that particular professor. Actually, he doesn't even have a professor, just a lower degree. But I met his son, and his son is very much similar. And even when I met him, I thought, oh, you're aggressive, just like your daddy, because his daddy failed me when I just made one mistake. I came earlier before the deadline to pass everything he required of us to pass, and I made one mistake, and I really had an impression that the man was happy I failed. So actually, I had a strong feeling that this person didn't like me, and it was really very much mutual. So my fantasies about somebody who hated me do not make any sense for me. And yet later I met his son. So when I wanted to live in Krakow at that time, he told me he lived in Krakow. He had his Harley. He opened a bar in a place where I love to go. I'd love to go to Carpe Diem, but they closed it, long ago. So he opened a bar in the place where I had a lot of memories, and in a place I liked. Wow. What else do I want to tell you? So when I met